Hi guys, so this is my first video. I tried to do it once, it didn't work, so I'm going to do it in segments. Segment 1, I'm going to tell you my story and why I chose to make cookbooks for SIDS awareness. On June 21st of 2009, I had my first son. His name is Adam, and he was perfect. And shortly after he was born, I learned of one of my friend's sisters losing her child to SIDS, and I was shocked. I had learned about SIDS in school, so I knew what it meant, but I didn't really know anything about it. I hadn't heard of anyone experiencing it, which was a big part of it, and I didn't know how I would ever deal with it. At that time, I was very unaware that in the future I would have to go through it. Shortly after I heard of that, my boyfriend moved in with me, and we had already been trying to have a child for a month. It took about another 7 months, and finally we had conceived. Found out it was a boy. We were ecstatic. We were just really right up there and just happy-go-lucky. We wanted our boy so bad. And we named him Jordan on January 28th when he was born. He weighed 8 pounds and 0.03 of 1 ounce. He was absolutely, in every way, perfect. He had the brightest blue eyes. He had little red hair. It was cute. It wasn't bold red. It was blondish red, so we could see it was red. He was perfect. We didn't know what would happen to him. Shortly after, I got a call telling me that my dad was very sick. He had had surgery to remove brain tumors that were cancerous. So I lost my dad on April 4th. And we went home after we found out. We had been up in the city to visit him in the hospital, and he passed overnight. So we had gone home on April 4th, spent the night at home. It was at 4 in the morning that we were woken up into our nightmare. My son Jordan, he always slept in our bed with us once he'd wake up for his feeding, which that night we had gone to bed at 11 and he woke up at 11:30. So I'd pulled him into bed with me. He had outgrown his bassinet. He was tucked right in my arms, laying flat on the mattress, and he was perfect. Everything was fine. We woke up at 4 in the morning because my oldest son Adam was sick and he was having a fit. It wasn't until after he came in to get a hug from me that we realized what was going on. I started freaking out, and that caused my boyfriend at the time to start freaking out. Upon all of that happening, we kind of went through a lot, especially me. I mean, going through my dad and then through my son too, it was very, very difficult. And shortly after we broke up, we couldn't handle it anymore. We were not a good support system for each other. Either it was because we didn't know how to, or we were in such different places going through different things that we couldn't. So in doing that, we now are civil, but that same day we found out that we are having a baby. Not planned. And we've recently learned that that baby is a girl. I am thrilled to say that it's a girl. But the emotional struggles that I've gone through in the last little while have really taken its toll on me. And that's when I started baking, which is when I started to come around to the idea of maybe I'll give my family a cookbook for Christmas of my favorite recipes that me and my son use. And then after that, I thought, why would I stop there? Why not do it for charity? Why not find a charity that would support SIDS and let everyone know what SIDS is? Because there's something out there for breast cancer, for prostate cancer, for multiple sclerosis, and for cystic fibrosis. I cannot speak tonight. So there is something for everything. And I mean, there's Movember and things like that. There's always something to raise awareness. But for some reason, SIDS and infant loss is a very taboo subject. I don't want SIDS to be taboo because I had people ask me, SIDS actually happens? And that's one of the hardest questions to answer. So that's where we are and why we started to create this book. Came up with the idea in September, and I decided that it was time to get something going. And ever since, it's been kind of like my child that can no longer be here. So that's the story of why I'm doing cookbooks, and look out for the next segment, which will tell you more about them.